Gastonville at 16 Railroad Street, the Railroad Street that's at this end. So the other board, we had an issue with the railroad company and the roads on the railroad's property, and you're vice versa. The railroad company hogged out, and our roads are literally falling off the hillside. A couple years ago, they decided to put roughly 24,000 pounds of these concrete blocks on it to, quote, retain the hillside from vibrating off any further. Long story short, we're having major water issues on the road. The road is getting worse daily. After that last rainstorm, I mean, I could probably flood 50 ducks down there and let them live. And more, we've had a couple of the stones removed from the road crew, I believe 2 or 3, still leaving maybe 9 to 11 left if I had to guess. And 3 of them are about to fall back into the railroad's property again.
Didn't we look at that? Did you guys look at that?
Yeah, so we went out there and did a site visit 6 weeks ago or so now, I don't remember the exact date, and then followed up with a letter with our observations and recommendations for how we want to proceed with that.
So do you mind if he calls you about that?
Yeah, we spoke about it earlier this week. I recommended that
This
he come.
gentleman?
Yeah, Adam and I spoke earlier this week. I recommended that he come.
So my runoff, my sump pump goes across to that tracks. All the houses drain over on that side. Back in the 80s, roughly, it's been since our road has ever been resurfaced, ever. From the best of my knowledge, he's brought a little machine and started blacktopping roads, never milled it, blacktopped on it. Now the road, and I know I actually had the gentleman from Peters Creek Sanitary come down,
Rick Kovac, yeah.
We pulled manhole covers to see how many colors are put on there. There's roughly 7 to 9 inches of colors on that road that is raising. Now my runoff and everything is literally trapped in my house and getting more water in my basement. Not that my basement was ever dry, but it is progressively worse.
So what is he requesting?
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but the reason for your initial call was you're looking at potentially piping underneath the road there, road opening permit to install your roof drain culvert, install your sump pump culvert.
Yes, I don't think this was ever brought to any of your attention. So the last board or whatever, I spoke with a couple, Lawson to be exact, felt as though it just smoked straight up the pipe for that one. I believe they're the ones who put the concrete blocks on there. If I'm not mistaken, they're 2 foot by 4 foot by 2 foot high. I kind of got a good guess they're about a ton each. There's 12 on the road. We put 24,000 pounds. I'm not an engineer, but it didn't seem right. And the road's literally just washing away more and more and more.
He says it's, if I recall, it crushed. You mentioned something about it crushed. There was a pipe.
Oh, so to where I was getting
So
to.
it's not putting a pipe in, it's just that he believes that these things crush.
One fell over.
Bringing water back into this.
Whether it was hit by something or it fell over, it literally hit my runoff from my sump pump. And that's when I restarted talking to TJ about, can we cut this road? Can I get my runoff back to where it was existing? If I put it on the road, we're gonna have a massive problem.
What do you recommend, TJ?
Well, I'd like to look specifically at the condition of his pipes. The reason I asked Adam to come today was so that we could talk about it as a group, and then, I wanted to make sure it was out in the open and have permission from the board to go out there
Does anybody have
and
a
look at
problem
the
with?
situation.
Well, I have a question about that, TJ. Why can't those barriers, I mean, we have to probably deal with the railroad, remove them barriers and just have guideposts put down in there and just put the panels up along there, but so they're not sticking out into the road and everything too. But if you could just drive them down into maybe like 8-foot poles down in there, I don't know if the railroad will let you do that. I know they're tough to deal with. I know
The
that.
right of way is tight. Anything we do along that border would have to be done in communication with the railroad.
And you need to approve.
Written approval.
There's a file in the as-built room or whatever. There was some negotiations with the railroad. There was gonna be, the railroad was gonna do certain things. They wanted the township to participate to a certain amount of money. The township then, they had a Zoom call or meeting with the railroad company. The railroad wanted them to pay 50% of this engineering fee. They decided it wasn't worth it, and they didn't pay it. And then
They're
the
tough to
railroad,
deal with, I know
well,
that.
no, the railroad was like, they were going to put a gabion wall or something there. They were actually going to fix it, but The township, the negotiations broke down after they had some sort of conference call with a guy in California, and when they got a bill for the conference call for the guy in California and didn't pay it, the railroad.
I was here for that meeting when they set aside, I believe it was $3,000 to talk to some gentleman in California, and nothing ever since then was ever done to our road, except for concrete blocks put on it. If you could imagine this being the railroad's end, that road is falling from here, every day.
There is a whole game plan of what the railroad was going to do.
Well, I think there used to be vegetation there, which was
Yes.
part of the problem when they eliminated the vegetation, that destabilized the hillside,
Oh, yeah.
and it's starting to slide, so.
And the
Sounds
township's
like a
road's been on
complicated
their
issue.
property. That's, I mean, you can see where that's pinned.
Okay, so does the board have any problem with TJ working with them? So is mine. Also?
No, we're done with him.
All right, so Chuck, any problem with doing that, Larry? Okay.
I'd like to be,
What's that?
I'd like to be there, so if I can know when these are.
So-
It's gonna cost you $10 to be there.
It's absolutely fine, I'll give you 20 if we get it fixed.
Adam, I'll coordinate with Steve and then give you a call to set.
Okay?
I actually located the gentleman from California's number and so forth, and I put it in the file, so he might have some more documentation.
I think sooner than later, we should reach out to the railroad and
We'll
start
try.
to get
They're
their,
on they're tough to deal with.
start to.
Actually, they looked like they were being pretty reasonable.
No, I
When
thought
they
they
didn't
would
get their,
too.
when they didn't get their payment for their part of their engineering,
Well,
they
we-
went no further.
And TJ did come and looked at a couple of them, and the ones that were teetering really bad, they did have removed. I assumed that we were removing them all. When the road crew came down, they said they were only moving 2, they ended up moving 3, because one was at the end of my driveway, which I grazed with my bumper of my truck, and was not happy about it. But if we can get the other ones that are about to fall over off, would be wonderful, or if not all of them, would be great. But you drive up that road, it's bad.
All right. Mr. Stasko, they're gonna work with you, they keep moving on.
Perfect.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next one is Dr.